Have you ever watched someone lose everything in complete silence? No shouting. No begging. No anger. Just one quiet smile before walking away. Everyone in the room believed that single dad's life was over. They had no idea that by the next morning, a $32 million Rolls-Royce would stop in front of the same building, and everything they believed about success, kindness, and respect would change forever. Sometimes the people we underestimate are carrying the greatest stories. Sometimes the kindest hearts hide the strongest courage. Stay with me until the end, because this story proves that one act of dignity can change more lives than 1,000 acts of pride. Before we begin, welcome to Heartline Stories. If you enjoy emotional stories that remind us why kindness still matters, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories to people around the world. David Carter was a single father raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, in Chicago. Every morning before sunrise, he prepared her breakfast, packed her school lunch, and walked her to the bus stop before heading to work. Life was never easy, but David believed that no matter how difficult things became, kindness should never disappear. He worked as a senior project manager at one of the country's largest luxury automobile companies. The business was owned by billionaire Victor Langston, a man famous for building a global empire but equally known for expecting perfection from everyone around him. David was respected by his co-workers because he treated everyone the same. He greeted the security guards by name, shared coffee with janitors, and always stayed late to help new employees learn their jobs. To David, every person deserved respect. One Monday morning, Victor walked into the office furious. A major international client had canceled a contract worth millions after delays caused by another department. Without asking questions, Victor stormed into the conference room where executives and managers had gathered. His eyes landed on David. "I trusted you," Victor said coldly. "You're responsible for this disaster." David calmly replied, "Sir, I wasn't leading that project. I have the reports that explain what happened." Victor slammed his hand on the table. "I don't need excuses. You're fired." The room fell completely silent. Everyone expected David to argue. Instead, he simply nodded. "I understand," he said softly. He picked up a small family photo from his desk, smiled politely at his co-workers, and walked out without another word. Outside the building, David took a deep breath before driving home. Lily ran to the front door with excitement. "Daddy! You're home early." David forced a smile. "I am, sweetheart." She hugged him tightly. "That means we can spend more time together." Her innocent words reminded David what truly mattered. That evening they cooked spaghetti together, laughed while washing dishes, and read her favorite bedtime story. David never mentioned losing his job. He didn't want his daughter to carry the weight of adult problems. The next morning, David received an unexpected phone call. "Mr. Carter, this is Eleanor Brooks." David recognized the name immediately. Eleanor was one of the wealthiest investors in America and chairwoman of a private investment group that owned shares in several luxury automobile companies. "We've been trying to reach you," she said warmly. "Would you mind meeting me today?" Confused but curious, David agreed. A black Rolls-Royce Phantom arrived outside his modest home. Neighbors watched in amazement as the elegant chauffeur opened the rear door. Lily whispered, "Daddy, is that car for us?" David smiled. "I think someone wants to talk." Inside the luxury vehicle, Eleanor greeted him with genuine warmth. "I've heard wonderful things about you for years," she said. David looked surprised. "I don't understand." She handed him a folder. "We secretly evaluate company leaders before making major investments. Over the past 3 years, we've interviewed dozens of employees at every level." David slowly opened the file. Inside were handwritten comments from security guards, cleaners, receptionists, engineers, interns, and office assistants. Every page praised his kindness. "He always helps us. He never makes anyone feel invisible. He remembers our birthdays. He treats everyone with dignity." Eleanor smiled. Those reports matter more than financial numbers. David felt emotional. But I was fired yesterday. I know. She nodded. Which is why we're making a change. The Rolls-Royce arrived outside Victor Langston's headquarters. Employees gathered near the entrance, confused by the expensive motorcade. Victor himself walked outside. His confident expression disappeared the moment Eleanor stepped out. She calmly addressed everyone. My investment group has completed its review. Victor smiled nervously. We appreciate your confidence. Eleanor interrupted him. Actually, we no longer have confidence in your leadership. The crowd gasped. She continued. A company cannot succeed when kindness is treated as weakness. Victor looked shocked. What do you mean? She turned toward David. This man earned the respect of every employee in your company. While you measured people by mistakes, others measured them by character. Victor suddenly realized the truth. He had fired the wrong person. Eleanor announced that her investment group had purchased controlling shares worth $32 million and would immediately restructure executive leadership. Then she smiled at David. We would like you to become our new chief operations officer. David stood speechless. I don't know what to say. Say yes, Eleanor replied with a laugh. He accepted. The employees burst into applause. Even those who had been afraid to speak before now smiled with hope. Victor slowly walked toward David. For the first time in years, his voice sounded humble. I'm sorry. David looked into his eyes. You don't owe me a promotion. You owe every employee the respect they deserve. Victor lowered his head. I understand. Months passed. Under David's leadership, the company changed completely. Employees were encouraged to share ideas without fear. Managers learned to listen before judging. Customer satisfaction reached record highs. Profits increased because people enjoyed coming to work. One afternoon, David invited every employee, including cleaners, receptionists, drivers, and cafeteria workers, to a company celebration. Standing on the stage, he looked across the smiling crowd. When people feel valued, he said, they don't simply work harder. They care more deeply. Kindness creates loyalty that money can never buy. The audience stood and applauded. Later that evening, David picked Lily up from school. She asked, Daddy, are you happy again? He smiled. I never stopped being happy. She looked confused. But you lost your job. David gently held her hand. Sometimes we lose one door because life is opening a better one. Lily smiled. I think kindness opened that door. David laughed. I think you're right. As the sun set over the city, father and daughter walked home together, knowing that true success had never been about expensive cars or powerful titles. It had always been about treating people with compassion, especially when no one was watching. If this story touched your heart, remember this simple truth: kindness is never wasted. The respect you give today may become the opportunity that changes your life tomorrow. Success may impress people for a moment, but kindness stays in their hearts forever. Thank you for watching Heartline Stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs a reminder that the kindest people often become the strongest heroes.